Last night was a perfect example of a team that is hot and a team that is struggling. The Texas Rangers have been one of the best teams in the American League, and last night it showed. Texas got runs when they needed them, and their pitching from the starters to the relievers was outstanding. It's been a frustrating 3 months of baseball for the green and gold. The starters have been fantastic, but hits with runners in scoring position and the bullpen have not been there. But as any baseball fan knows, there's a time to turn this ship around, and a winning streak is always around the corner. The A's look to even up the series versus the Rangers. It's Game 2 next. Wednesday Night Baseball from the O.Co Coliseum. A's will try to bounce back tonight after losing last night. Rangers will send Yovani Gallardo to the mound. The A's will send the youngster Jesse Hahn. So Gallardo and Hahn is your pitching matchup. It's Game 2 of the 3-game series. Oakland A's hosting the Texas Rangers. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Jesse Hahn is just 25 years old, and tonight he makes his 24th Major League start. And Ray, what we've seen from him this year I really like is the fact that he's making improvements. He seems to be getting a little bit better, and he's been really good lately. A
ground ball pitcher, of course, as we've talked about, when he strikes out batters, that means he's elevating his pitches. He wants the sinker ball down. He wants the ground ball outs. 8 starts ago, he had the issue in Kansas City with a blister on his middle finger. He said it's a non-issue now. It's very strong. So he's throwing the sinker. The curveball is there, the changeup is there, and of course back at Memorial Day when he had his first ever shutout and then backed it up with a good start against the Yankees and the Tigers, and he's pitching well. And again, the biggest thing for him, ground ball outs. He's a ground ball pitcher. With his frame of 6'5", he wants to pitch down, and he's been doing that.
For the Texas Rangers, no Josh Hamilton, no Adrian Beltre. They're both injured, but Mitch Moreland is hitting in the cleanup spot, and he is tough on the Athletics.
He always gets healthy here at the Coliseum. He did it again last night, but every time he pitches here, he finds a way to get hits. He uses the whole field, tremendous power to the opposite field, and that's what makes him so good, especially in this park. Last night, straightaway center field, up over the big door in center field. I mean, he is a very strong man. It does not matter where you pitch him. He has a chance to take it out any part of this park.
So 2 teams in much different spots right now. The A's have lost 4 in a row. The Rangers, on the other hand, have won 8 out of their last 10. So the A's will try to start a winning streak tonight in Game 2 of this series. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back to the Coliseum. Get you ready for the A's and the Rangers.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-time automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
So the A's behind Jesse Hahn take the field. We're in the green tops tonight for game 2 of this 3-game series against the Rangers. Let's look at the game time weather for tonight. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 65 degrees with winds at 11 miles per hour and a little bit humid tonight for a Wednesday night ball game here at the O.co Coliseum. So let's look at the lineup tonight for the Texas Rangers. It'll be Delino DeShields leading it off. Shin-Soo Choo bat second. Prince Fielder's the DH. He'll hit third. A's killer Mitch Moreland in the cleanup spot. Then Joey Gallo at third. Elvis Andrus at short. Leonis Martinez in center. Former A Adam Rosales gets a start tonight at second base. And Robinson Chirinos is the catcher.
Jesse Hahn's first start as a member of the Athletics came against these Texas Rangers. That was back on April the 7th. And he did not get but 1 run support. The A's losing that game by a score of 3-1. Jesse pitched well, and he hopes to do the same again tonight. And he has been pitching well since he resolved the blister issue on the middle finger in his throwing hand. But good sinker ball pitcher, good curveball, good changeup, and try to get some ground ball outs.
Defensively for the Athletics, Sam Fuld gets a start tonight. Fielding at left field, Burns in center, Reddick in right, Laurie Simeon on the left side, Zobrist Muncy on the right side, and Stephen Vogt is behind the plate. So the Rangers won last night 2-1. Just another frustrating ball game for the Athletics. They had opportunities, could not cash in, and ended up losing 2-1.
I always look at runners at third and less than 2 outs, and we talked last night, and it ended up hurting the Athletics. And DeShields with his speed ended up scoring the first run after a triple scored on a 2-out hit by Prince Fielder.
First pitch of the ball game is a fastball inside to DeShields. So we're underway. 7:07 first pitch. Lenny Gray, unfortunately, the losing pitcher last night. So tonight it's up to Jesse Hahn. 1-1 the count to Delino DeShields Jr. Grounds that one just foul. So 1-2 with Choo to follow and then Fielder.
Surprised he didn't break his bat. Sure sounded like it, but he is not getting a new one. Jesse Hahn, when he has struggled, it's usually in the first inning, settles down and pitches very well, and so for him to get through the first inning is a huge plus.
Big curve, a little bit outside. 2-2 the count.
First curve of the night, big, and evidently just outside, as Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, indicated.
Simeon's going to have to hurry, and it kicks up off his glove, and DeShields will be aboard. Be curious to see if that ball came up a little bit on Simeon.
And also curious to see if it even thrown him out had he fielded it cleanly. And he's going to be given an error, but he kind of circled around, which is a good idea because the speed, and it did come up, and trying to take it to the side. Watch the heel of the glove, came up, hit him right in that area, kept it close, which is a good idea because it did not allow DeShields with his speed to advance into scoring position. But DeShields runs fast, and it's a question, really, if he had come up with it cleanly, would have thrown him out. And that's the times when a fielder is penalized, and as well as a hitter, because there's really not a chance to see if he was going to beat it up.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So 58th air of the season for the Athletics. Most in the major leagues. Here's Choo. Choo was 2 for 4 last night. And that one is a swing as they check with Jim Wolf down at third.
Almost looked like Jim Wolf just made the call on his own. Stephen Vogt stood up, and it was a swing, and Stephen looked to see what DeShields might be doing and then checked down, but Adrian Johnson also asked for help.
DeShields with a big lead, and he's got a lean, and they may have got him. No.
Well, Max Muncy immediately put his hand up, so I would think that Bob Melvin is going to go out of the warning track. Mike Andretti to Adam Roden, and he was leaning and heading to second base, so Muncy takes the throw, gets it back in. Oh, got him. Oh my, challenge it. Got him on the shoulder, and yeah, they're going to look at it, and rightfully so, because that's the left shoulder or right shoulder. Before he got to the bag, he got him on the right shoulder, and that's the reason Muncy immediately looked up. And here's the look. Check the right shoulder. He's trying to go around the tag. He missed him initially, but got him on the follow through right there. Freeze it, and he got it. He's out.
Not even close.
Not even close is right. Great pickoff move by Jesse Hahn.
So there's going to be one out here, folks. DeShields, boy, he had a big lean going. I don't think this is going to take very long.
It shouldn't.
I'm going to guess, Ray. I'm going to just take a guess. I think it's going to be under a minute.
Well, you said 30 seconds last time. It was at 25, and that should be as fast as this one, or this one should be as fast, because really they're putting a big highlight on the screen here at the Coliseum. And of course, it does not help because, as we know, New York, and he is out.
So that's an easy one.
Well, that's the key. You get the runner leaning towards second, and then you throw quickly. Here's the tag, missed there, but great job for Muncy staying on the tag. He knew he got him on the shoulder. He could look down to see that hand was not on the bag yet, and immediately popped up and pointed towards the dugout.
Chu hits it hard, but right to Zobrist, who scoops it up, and that's out number 2.
I was just thinking for Jesse Hahn, he's a ground ball pitcher, and there was an error on the first one, but a very good ground ball on Chu, and probably would have been a double play anyway, but a pickoff is better.
So 2 outs as Prince Fielder steps in.
Well, looking at some of the reaction of the Rangers, it's almost as if they thought Shields was safe, and it was clearly out.
I think from an umpire standpoint, I think where they're standing, I think it is hard for them to see maybe the glove tag. I mean, look where he's standing, and he's close, but watch where the tag is.
He blocked it. Actually, the runner,
his head, the runner's head is actually blocking the tag. So I think it's a tough call. It's a tough, really, play for the umpire to see. So Fielder grounds out softly, side retired. So there was an error, but nothing else. No score after a half an inning. Reddick, Zobrist, Vogt, Butler, Laurie, Muncy, Simeon, and Folt.
Formerly of the Milwaukee Brewers, Giovanni Gallardo, who is making the start. Of course, he did start opening night here at the Coliseum. He scored 4 runs off him and defeated him. 2 in the first inning, so he is making his 13th start. 5-6 his record. Of course, 21 walks in 68 2/3 innings. Fastball, of course, 2 and 4 seam with a curveball, slider, changeup. And as we talked actually opening night, the only difference for him is a good hitter. Doesn't get the hit in the American League unless it's interleague.
And he's pitching better. He's one of those guys who takes the ball every 5th day, and when the season's over, he generally puts up decent numbers. Yovani Gallardo facing Burns, Reddick, and Zobrist here in the bottom of the first. Fastball up and away. Gallardo has allowed just 3 earned runs in his last 18 innings pitched. That covers his last 3 starts. And then stretch it out to last 5 starts. 3-1 with a 2.7 ERA.
Kind of coincides with the success of the Rangers and their winning record. It'd have to be. Actually, 3 pitches to the always aggressive Billy Burns. He hasn't swung the bat yet.
Burns hitting .303, couple of home runs, 8 RBIs. Taps this one to third. Gallo jumps, pops out of his glove, and then throws it wide. And Burns is going to make the left turn. He's going to head to second, and he'll stop there. So Gallo jumped up to grab the big hop, and it just popped out of his glove, and then he really had a rush.
Well, Billy Burns finally does swing, and it was kind of a jump. He went about 3 inches off the ground when he jumped up and clanked it. Base hit E5, and the ball came right back to him. And once he did jump up and knock the ball down, a good throw. Actually looked like he was going to get him, but Billy Burns, the speed, forced Gallo to make a hurried throw, and Billy Burns circled around in the outfield grass and had to stop at second. He did pick up Mike Gallego, and that's important to see. Use his eyes to be able to find the baseball.
So each team with an error in the first inning. So the Rangers and the A's both making way too many errors this year. 54th for the Rangers. A's made their 58th in the top of this inning. 0-1 to Reddick. Reddick hitting .306 with 8 home runs, 32 RBIs. Reddick 7 for 15 against the Rangers this year.
Remember, Josh was not here on opening night.
Right.
He was on the disabled list and on his rehab assignment. So he did not face Gallardo that night. As a matter of fact, Sam Fuld was hitting second, hit a triple. Of course, we know what Ben Zobrist did. First at bat as a member of the Athletics, and he's hit in the same 3rd spot tonight. Josh Reddick has moved up. He's swinging the bat well. So between 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in the batting order for Reddick.
Reddick with a shot to right, and that's a base hit. So Chu grabs it on 1 out. Burns stops at third. He had to make sure Chu didn't catch it. So 1st and 3rd, nobody out for the A's here in the bottom of the 1st.
Yeah, Reddick just trying to pull the ball. He did it successfully, and that was to advance Burns and hit it over the head of the second baseman. That is Adam Rosales, and really nobody out. Burns stopped. He's actually going to go back to tag and then on to third base. So the idea was good. Nobody out. You tag. Once the ball drops, go to third, and at that point, you know where the outfield was playing, but the ball was hit very hard. Not much he could do except make sure it landed.
So a chance for Zobrist. He's looking for an early lead. And the first pitch is low from Gallardo. Zobrist hitting .207, couple of home runs, 14 RBIs. Doubled and scored a run last night. He was 1 for 4. There's a strike on the outside corner.
That opening night, April 6th, Gallardo with the runner at third. Slider, and it was gone. Ben Zobrist, welcome to the Oakland A's, and had to experience the tunnel in his first at bat in the regular season.
8-0. He's won that game.
was back and forth, win, loss in that first 4-game series.
These are 4-4 against the Rangers this year. And that one just a bit low. Gallardo wanted it. Good take by Zobrist. That's Adrian Johnson who's calling balls and strikes tonight. That's a strike last night, Ray.
It's a strike alternating nights. You're right. Strike Saturday in Boston, not on Sunday.
So now 3-2. Vote to follow. After Vote, it's Butler. So after a frustrating night last night, missed opportunities. You got to get something here in the first.
I think we'll see what Bob Melvin's thinking about with Josh Reddick. And you'd hope Ben Zobrist's going to make contact. And if he does and Reddick is running, just hope it's not a line drive someplace, especially on the infield. I always like these because I like the, I wouldn't say pressure, but the emphasis on the hitter. If it's a strike, to make contact. You don't have to swing because it's ball 4 if you don't. But you know, you have the base runner on the move, and I think the hitter's approach is just a little bit more concentrated.
Reddick not running, and it's bounced towards second, charged by Rosales. Out at second to throw to first, not in time. Run comes in to score, and the A's take a 1-0 lead. So Rosales had a decision to make. He went for the double play, did not get it. So,
well, he should have tagged the runner going by. And Josh Reddick, as it was hit to him, and right there he could have at least stopped. Reddick had thought about stopping, but once he stopped or hesitated, Rosales just immediately thought about second base. And instead of, I mean, he could have stopped Reddick, got him a run down, thrown to first base, still gotten 2 outs. But right there, maybe he thought, I mean, Reddick was right in front of him. So Josh had thought about stopping, and it was close. Hurry up and pitch.
Here's Vogt who takes low.
On contact, Billy Burns was running, so run was going to score regardless, but even better for Ben Zobrist, showing a healthy knee, his left knee, after banging it last night on a sliding catch. He would avoid a double play.
So Vogt takes a strike. 1-1 the count. Vogt 291 with 11 home runs and 40 RBIs. The RBIs 5th best in the league. Knocked in the A's only run last night with a single to center. Gallardo misses outside. A's come into the game 23-37, sitting on that 4-game losing streak. Boy, they just have not been able to get it going at home. They're 9-18 at home. That's very frustrating for everybody. The A's and the Milwaukee Brewers have the fewest home wins in baseball at 9. We're not used to that.
No.
And that's frustrating.
No, especially when you have the walk-offs the A's had in 12 and 13, and fewer last year. But still, you get the walk-offs, and the A's still looking.
Vogt, good rip there. Fouls it to foul ball alley to our left. Haven't showed you the Rangers defense yet. Here it is. Good outfield to Shields, Martin, and Chu. And then Gallo, Andrus, Rosales, Moreland on the infield. Trinos again behind the plate. So the A's have scored here in the bottom of the first to take a 1-0 lead. Runner goes, pitches high, and Vogt with a walk.
You know, the best pitch for Stephen Vogt in that at bat was the 2-1 changeup that he took like he knew it was coming. He was saying that he's gotten in a kind of a rut where he was trying to go get the baseball instead of letting baseball come to him. And I think the 2-1, because he'd been seeing a lot of changeups, he stayed back, realized he was out of the strike zone, and took it to 3-1, and eventually 3-2, and he walks. And walk, that means you're on the baseball, you're seeing the baseball, and Stephen Vogt pitched much differently just because of the success he is having. That's what happens when you're good. Everybody recognizes that.
So he will throw a lot of pitches. And he's at it again. He's got 20 already. Going down around the knees. A strike to Billy Butler. Still only 1 out in the inning. Butler hitting right at 250. He was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Zobrist at second, Vogt at first. Infield double play depth. See Adrian Johnson, one of those umpires who will glance at where he thinks the pitch is. If he thinks it's outside, he will look that way. It's just kind of a visual way to let everybody know why he called it a ball. I kind of like it.
Well, he does let us know, and that's always good, instead of doing nothing or having a 3-second delay on the strike.
And that doesn't mean he's going to do it on every pitch. He's going to do it on close pitches.
Exactly. And it really helps the managers, both dugouts, because the one thing they can tell is north and south, up and down, but side to side they cannot. And I think it's good that the umpires will just say it's outside, and no argument can really come from the dugout if you do that.
2-1 to Butler is inside. Now, and do you think that's why umpires do that? Not all umpires do it, but some. Do you think they do it for the benefit of the dugouts?
They should. Just because we've been to the dugout, we see that the only pitch that managers can see, and players, would be up and down. And that's why you see the arguments. But no, I think it's good, and I think the umpires that do that, I haven't really asked them, but I think that that's consciously selling them exactly what is happening, because you avoid arguments, really, because you have managers looking to their catcher or talking to the catcher and yelling and saying, where's the pitch, and he's telling them up front. So
you see pitchers too, hey, they'll ask,
right,
but they don't have to if an umpire does that.
Now the 3-2 count, 3 in a row. Zobrist, Vogt, and now Billy Butler.
And the pitch is hit to center and hit well. Martin going back, and he's going to get there, and he makes the catch, and both runners have to hustle back. So Butler, boy, hit that ball well, but almost seemed like it just kind of died about 3/4 of the way out to Jonas Martin.
Well, it's always frustrating for hitters swinging the bat at nighttime. You feel like you hit it, and he hit it probably as well as he could, and the runners were running. So once it was caught, Martin, a good job going back, and there's a case with Zobrist running, picked up the ball, saw that it was going to be caught, and hustled back and asked for a better swing. There's a case of an outfielder who actually turned his back to the infield, knew the ball was over his head, and instead of looking back as you're running, he turned his back, went to where he thought the ball would come down. That's a good outfield. That's one that can take the ball off the bat and go after the ball and turn around. Remarkably, there it is.
Yeah, well, we've seen Martin now for 3 years, and he is fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
So 2 outs. Here's Laurie. Strike in the outside corner to Laurie, who's hitting .280, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, and hitless last night, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Kind of a high breaking ball, and Laurie fouls it back, so he's behind in the count, 0-2.
29th pitch coming up, and you'd think the A's should have about 5. And
it seems like
got 1. He's a strike away from getting out of the jam that he has created.
Nice block. Trying for third is Zobrist, and he's going to make it. Zobrist got that good secondary lead, and he took off.
As a case, so the catcher did not want to try to make a hurried throw and make a bad throw. So aggressive base running by Ben Zobrist, and nice block by Chirinos, but one that would normally keep base runners where they are, but the secondary lead helped, and Chirinos got to it. And I think simply he did not want to take a chance and hurry the throw, and Ben Zobrist decided not even have to slide. Gallo was already jumping.
1-2 pitch is a fastball outside corner, strike 3 called. So when it's all said and done, Gallardo gives up 1. Could have been a lot worse as he gets out of the jam. 1-0 A's after 1. Melvin on sunny gray start last night. Manager said gives up 2 runs. If that's a bad game, we'll take it any day. Every game he pitches, we're either in or we're winning it, and that is definitely true. He just does not get knocked around hardly at all. Sonny Gray leads the American League in ERA at 1.74. I would not make plans for the All-Star break if I were Sonny Gray. Unless it's a short drive from Cleveland to Cincinnati, that's where we end the first half of the season. Cincinnati is where the All-Star game is this year.
Really?
I know that just thrills you to no end.
Well, the irony of the whole thing is that it's same on the 14th.
Oh, was it?
And we were in Cleveland. We flew down to Cincinnati.
Oh, really?
Down. His wife Carol, my wife Carol, and I, and it's just 45 years later. That's the only difference. Seems like yesterday.
The game should have just ended after 9 innings. That's
well, with a 4-1 lead, it should have.
That's what I'm saying.
We should have.
It's a bullpen.
Well, I guess
they scored 3 in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah. Actually, it was the catcher making some bad calls, which was me.
I don't think that was the case. 1-1 the count to Joey Gallo. And Gallo with a shot, and it's off the glove of Zobrist. Boy, he got a decent glove on it, but it was hit so hard. Hey, it went right through the webbing. Let's see how close he was to corralling this one.
You talk about a sinking line drive. I think you're right. I think it may have even hit him. Maybe he jumped too high. No, got it right off the webbing. Outfielder's glove, it's an out. Yeah. Infielder's glove is second. You have to turn the double play, so you can't have the bigger glove.
So that's a hit for Gallo, and here's Elvis Andrus. Andrus hitting .237, couple of home runs, 20 RBIs. Andrus, a little bit of a slow start. He started slow last year too. He ended up at 263, which is a pretty decent year. It was not his best year last year though. He's a better hitter than 237 or even 260.
He's got an opportunity to play a long time in a Rangers uniform because he signed a long-term contract.
This is his 7th full season already in the big leagues. Hit hard. Lori's got it. Double clutch to second. Out there. Throw to first. Not in time.
I think double clutch because if he had thrown, nobody was a second. He had to wait for Zobrist to get there. Of course, Andrus does a good job hitting the ball to the opposite field. And Ben Zobrist may have had his positioning, see where he's positioned, and by the time the quickness of Brett Lord, he wanted to throw, but nobody was there, and Ben Zobrist could only get there so quickly. And you know, better to not take a chance and throw to a vacated bag, and Ben Zobrist almost turned the double play anyway, but I think that was smart on Lori's part to double clutch to make sure that Zobrist was going to get there, prevent throwing behind him. Those empty bags are hard to throw to. You know, just nobody's there, and the A's have seen too many mistakes occur because of anticipating someone being there.
So 0-1 to Leonys Martin. Andrus, a base stealing threat. He's got 8 this year. He's been thrown out 4 times. Martin hitting .243. Andrus has a big lead not going. Pitches inside 2-1. Make it 1-1. So with the Shields and Andrus and Martin, there are some base stealing threats for the Rangers, and they do like to run. They've got 44 steals this year, 3rd in the American League.
Well, great job by Hahn in the first inning picking off the Shields. So that in itself could keep base runners closer. And it's important because I would think Jeff Bannister and the success the Rangers are having, they're getting pitching, they're getting the clutch hits, but also taking chances. And if you have the speed, use it. And had a great month of May to Jeff Bannister and the Rangers, and probably continue the same form.
And we've talked many times about how Ricky Henderson didn't really care about the move or getting picked off, but there's only one Ricky Henderson when it comes to stealing bags.
He's pretty close to Shields. He can run, but you're right. Nobody is as good as Ricky was, and Ricky probably could still steal bases.
He was not going to be affected in anything that happened in the game to him or another runner. But in this case, Andrus has a big lead at first. 1-2 pitch is slapped into left field, and that's a hit.
See, that's why the stolen base is so important, because what Martin just did with 2 strikes, he does that with a runner at second. After a stolen base, it's a different story, and that's why 2-out base stealing attempts are good. And really the theory here is, can you get a couple, 2-3 2-out hits to score a run versus taking 1 shot with a stolen base? Not that, I mean, Stephen Vogt is quick behind the plate. Maybe he would have thrown him out. So as it turns out, it is 1st and 2nd, and the always aggressive Adam Rosales will try to do it.
243, 3 home runs for Rosales this year. Playing second base, and the first pitch is a bit inside. A couple of hits in the inning for the Rangers. Defense pretty straight up for Rosales. Great speed on the bases for Texas. Missed again, 2-0. Rangers coming in with a 31-27 record, and they're just 2 games behind the first place Astros. Setting up inside, and it's hit toward Zobrist. Zobrist ranging far to his left, throws in time. Nice play by Ben Zobrist. And they get Rosales, a couple of runners stranded. Bottom of the second, coming up 1-0 A's lead. Together building a better California. A's with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the second against Giovanni Gallardo. A young Rangers fan. I don't think that's a game ball though. Muncy, bunt attempted, bunts it foul. Muncy, Simeon, and Full for the A's here in the bottom of the second. A's got an RBI fielder's choice from Ben Zobrist. Muncy takes a bit high. Not a whole lot of West Coast games going on. There are no West Coast games in the American League. Dodgers are playing down in Los Angeles, but a lot of East Coast games. 1-2 now to Muncy.
A little different in downtown Cleveland tonight as the Indians and the Mariners played. Mariners. Off night for the NBA Finals, so maybe a few players. The Warriors went over to see aggressive field looked like in the Indians.
Muncy is retired. Remember, they just listened to Tom Hamilton on the radio. The great Tom Hamilton.
Stay at the hotel. We hear Tommy all the way out here from Cleveland. He is always energetic. Notice tonight Zobrist is playing second. Last night Eric Sogard, remember, rolling over on his glove hand, and it was his wrist more than his hand, even though he stayed in the game. And very sore today, so he's not starting.
And Ben Zobrist isn't. His knee's barking a little bit as well, so he's not really rolling at 100% either.
And maybe best that he goes to second base. Sam Full in left field, a little bit more, I guess you could say, not necessarily athleticism, but as far as healthiness. But Ben at second tonight. Eric Sogard up the middle last night, ended up falling on his left hand and kind of wrenched his wrist, rolled on it a little bit. So Zobrist able to go to second base, and Sogard takes the night off.
Simeon hitting .277, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. He was 1 for 2 last night. He walked a couple of times. It's low, 2-2. This was the play that Ray's talking about.
And just watch the left hand, the glove hand, and what happens when it goes, rolls it and grabs the left wrist. It was right there. You could see he rolled over, and then his body ended up landing on top as the glove stayed on the ground.
Short hop scoop by Gallo, throws on the run, 2 outs.
Kansas City Athletics host the Kansas City Royals as we turn back the clock to 1965 on Saturday, June the 27th. The then KC A's Club featured Bert Campaneris and our good friend, we will see him in Anaheim, John Blue Moon Odom, who will both throw out the game ceremonial first pitches. 20,000 fans will receive a Charlie O throwback T-shirt presented by Ross, which depicts the iconic A's mule mascot from the 1960s and 70s. Picture looks better and better every time we see it on the T-shirt. Monty Moore will be up here also for the celebration of 50 years.
I think he should be here.
Just bring the dinger, Monty. Big old dinger, just in case a home run is hit. The dinger night at the Coliseum, and Monty Moore had all the fans with the dingers, and home runs were hit. You could hear just nothing but cowbells and dingers as Monty called the home run. And good man, Monty Moore. Porterville, California.
Oh, 2 to Sam Fuld. 185 for Fuld with 8 RBIs. That's that one on the ground right to Rosales, who scoops it up. Side retired. 3 ground ball outs for Giovanni Gallardo. We're headed to the 3rd. It's the A's 1 and the Rangers 0. Steven Spielberg returns to executive produce the long-awaited next installment of the Jurassic Park series, Jurassic World, opening in theaters on Friday. So 3rd inning from the Coliseum. He's with a 1-0 lead. Robinson Chirinos to lead it off against Jesse Hahn. Chirinos, DeShields, and Chu. Rangers may look up and see that the Astros are losing 2-1 in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Astros have lost 6 in a row, and the Rangers just 2 back.
Well, as we talked last night, to really get greedy and think what the A's, if they had won the 4, while the Astros, it could be a very, very tight division. So the A's, while the Rangers can look, the A's can also look at trying to move upward.
3-0 pitch to Chirinos is right in there for a strike. 3-1. It's the current AL West standings, and those standings include an Angels loss and a Mariners win. So those two teams played earlier. A little bit high, and it's a leadoff walk to Chirinos. Here's our T-Mobile game changer. A little bit more about the Texas Rangers this year. They have used 14 rookies, and they're playing great baseball. American League Rookie of the Month was Delino DeShields. That was in May. Joey Gallo just called up. High hopes for him. Hanser Alberto called up. He's done a nice job at second base. Chichi Gonzalez, who we're going to see tomorrow. And he's got 14 2/3 shutout innings to start his career. So we'll see the youngster. So the Rangers have to be feeling pretty good about themselves at this point.
And Jesse Hahn has been elevating pitches to Chirinos and the first pitch to Shields, and not going to get much sinking action on a fastball when it's elevated.
It just doesn't want to sink. Up above the belt.
Out there, especially if it straightens out. Straightens out, elevated, and I want to see the results.
That one's hit to right field, and that's a base hit. Chirinos will stop at second base, and that looked like a fastball that was up, and DeShields lined it into right field. So let's talk about the Jesse Hahn fastball with some notes. Opponent's average. Now this is just with his fastball. First 6 starts on the fastball. Opposition hit .292. Last 5 just .202. Percentage high in the zone. So less fastballs up. Percentage low in the zone up his last 5 starts. So it all works together. So basically he's doing a better job keeping his fastball down. But he did not do it that time. And that hit Chu. So it was a big curveball, and Chu kind of bent down and then ducked away. And the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out.
Well, it just kept breaking, and it turned. And there's the case, Chu. I mean, it looked like he was just trying to turn away. No, he's going to get hit. And you don't ever want to get hit, even with a slow curveball. And he was trying to bail out of the way, but it just kept finding its way to him.
So trouble for Hahn. 5th hit batter this year. Now he faces the league's top hitter, Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder hitting .354. Second best in the league is Jason Kipnis at .335. So he's well above everybody else. And with runners in scoring position this year, .421. So Hahn's got his hands full here.
Yeah, but he has to get the ground ball to take 2 to give up 1 to get 2 outs. So he can get a ground ball at somebody.
And Fielder showing good patience, takes low, and now it's 2-0.
Overcompensating just a little bit.
Lots of balls. Jesse Hahn generally has pretty good control. .2-0 pitch is lined to center. Burns goes back. He's got it. Runner's going to tag and come home. DeShields smartly tags up at second and goes to third. So Chirinos scores a very productive out for Prince Fielder, and you can tell, Ray, he got in a 2-0 count. He got a pitch to hit, and he really took a good swing at it, but he didn't try to pull it. He didn't try to hit one over the wall in right field. He just stayed right with it.
Well, the ball running away from him, but it was elevated and enabled him to drive the ball. Very powerful. So the A's really fortunate that it was just 1. Because with his power, it could have been a lot worse for the A's standpoint. But DeShields doing a good job, but the A's, even with the very tough Morales, trying to get a ground ball to get 2 and just give up the 1 run. Just got to get the ball down.
Here's Mitch Moreland, who hits it hard into right field. That's a base hit. DeShields trots home. Chu will stop at second, and Moreland on the first pitch with an RBI single, and the Rangers lead 2-1. Kurt Young's going to chat with his young right-hander.
That looked like an off-speed pitch, able to get out in front. And of course, Moreland swinging and hitting pretty much everything. But after the 5-pitch walk to Triano, starting the inning, the 9th place hitter, 2 to Shields, 1 to Chu, 3 to Fielder, 1 to Moreland. So they're not waiting around.
First pitch strike, just 3 for 12. So not good numbers there for Hahn. He's now given up 4 hits. He's walked 1. He's hit a batter.
Now batting, number 13.
So here's Joey Gallo. Gallo hit a line drive off of Zobrist's glove for a single in the 2nd inning. Pitch down and away to Gallo.
Well, the life of a starting pitcher, it can be so great. Last 3 starts, especially for Jesse Hahn, against the Tigers twice, the Yankees once. A lot of ground ball outs. And a little bit of a struggle tonight because of the elevation of the fastball.
Swing and a miss by Gallo, 1-1.
I think one of the things we learned from Jesse Chavez and the game that he started against the Yankees, 42 pitches in the 1st inning, and he talked about making an adjustment, realizing what he needed to do. He ended up pitching 8 innings of shutout baseball. You have to realize what you are doing.
Another base hit right field. Here comes Chu. They're going to hold him up as Reddick hits the cutoff, and Muncy leaps up to catch it, and Joey Gallo has his 2nd hit, and now the bases are loaded again with 1 out.
Gallo swings hard, and
Now batting,
but towards the end of the bat really didn't sting it to right field, but Josh Reddick, as he usually does, got a great jump on the ball, and with the ability to throw and charge the ball, which he does nicely, he's able to have the runner hold up at 3rd base. Chu was thinking about scoring. He got a good read and had to be held up right at the last instant. Might have been out. Might have been a good enough throw to get it.
So here's Elvis Andrus, bases loaded, and he rolls one foul and toward the A's bullpen. Barehanded, cup of coffee.
Scotty's good.
Venditti gets up and warming up quickly. Chu, Moreland, Gallo are your runners. 2 runs in for the Rangers, looking for more. Off the foot of Elvis Andrus, spins out toward Hahn, so the count 0-2. So Jesse Hahn had to work hard to get out of the 2nd inning when the Rangers did not score. He's going to work hard again here in the 3rd, and the Rangers have scored. Now he's trying to limit the damage. 0-2 curveball, roll toward Laurie, who's going to throw home, out there. Nice play by Laurie. So Chu is out at home.
That is an outstanding play, because if you have the runner, he's right down the line, so he threw over. Nice job, Stephen Vogt, just thinking about one. Softly hit, nice play, little touch pass for Brett Lloyd. Probably be a pretty good quarterback, huh? Just right over the top, and that is a hard play because you're always concerned about throwing into the runner, hitting him in the back.
So here's Martin, and he rolls at foul. Tony Beasley is the 3rd base coach for Texas Rangers.
I think what we're seeing in this inning, the description of the game really getting fast, trying to slow it down, and all this is happening so quickly, and Jesse Hahn trying to avoid major damage.
Fastball up, Martin fouls it straight back, so now the count is 0-2. Decent numbers with the bases loaded for Martin. Pitch number 46 coming up for Hahn. And here it is, and it's a big curve, and Martin lays off.
There's enough of a curve, and as much as Jesse Hahn wanted to throw it hard, he got to the point where, watches, he almost swings, starts, and then stops. And that's the difference of the velocity. Sometimes that hard slider, something hard like Sonny Gray was throwing last time, some real hard slider biting down sharply. Hitters don't hold up their swings.
That one way outside, kind of spun out of the hands of Hahn.
Critical pitch, 2-2, and a lot is determined on this, and maybe that's why Stephen Rowe's going to talk to his pitcher. Get on the same page, and maybe won't even give a sign. Just go back behind the plate, put up the target, and say, let's go.
And generally, Ray, you want to get the guy on the 2-2 pitch.
Absolutely. You don't want to go to 3-2 for a number of reasons, and usually the 2-2 pitch dictates what the 3-2 will be if it goes to 3-2. Let's see how we'll look in and get a sign.
And that hit Martin in the foot, and that's going to bring a run home.
That's too bad.
As Moreland trots in, Martin be checked on. He's limping a little bit.
Well, he just overthrew the fastball. He tried to probably throw the fastball, the sinker in, have it come back, but it did not break. Right foot, just overthrew it. He's protected if he swings and hits a sinker, but he's not protected there because it hit right above his ankle or on his ankle, and the protection's on the inside of the left foot. For a sinker ball down.
Martin picks up his 19th RBI, and he's not moving great, but he looks like he's going to stay in the game. So 3 runs in for the Rangers, and the bases are loaded. Adam Rosales steps up, so the Rangers have batted around here in the 3rd. Pitch is a little bit inside to Rosales, who came up with 2 on and 2 out last inning and grounded out.
Started Martin 0-2 and then hit him on the 2-2 pitch, so didn't have to worry about going 3-2 and worrying what the 3-2 pitch was going to be, unfortunately.
Simeon gets a nice big hop. He'll take it himself. Steps on second base, side retired. So 9 men bat for the Rangers, and they score 3 times. So Texas 3, A's 1 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. News brought to you by Joseph Abood, available at Men's Warehouse. So the Rangers now lead 3-1 after dropping the 3 spot on the A's in the top of the 3rd. So Yovani Gallardo has a lead in the early going as he faces the leadoff man Burns, who singled off the glove of Gallo in the 1st inning. Gallo then threw the ball away. Burns ended up at second, and he later scored. That one's hit high in the air to right field, but right to Chu. Chu grabs it.
And I have to throw in 30 pitches in the 1st inning. Gallardo gave up just the 1 run, but I would think the Rangers had a pretty good feeling after the 2nd inning, in which he had 3 ground ball outs. And in fact, after walking Vogt, he's now retired 6 in a row. And if you're playing good baseball, you get to the point where you're saying, just hold them close, and the offense will pick it up. And 9 batters bat in the top of the inning, and very quickly in the bottom of the inning, 2 pitches and 1 out for Gallardo.
Pitch to Reddick is outside. Reddick had a line drive base hit in the 1st inning. So the average up to 309 for Reddick. Reddick did not like that call.
Nope.
And we had a little bit of an argument. Looked like it was low. So now 1-2 as Gallardo took a little long. Strike 3 call, and I'm going to take a guess here and say Josh Reddick's not going to be happy because it was the high strike and earlier the low strike.
You can fill out your 2015 Esurance All-Star Game ballot now at athletics.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote up to 35 times at athletics.com and vote for Vote. You can vote for all the guys 35 times. Wow. And if you don't have a computer or a smartphone or a tablet, go borrow one. Vote 35 times. Joe's probably got all those toys, right?
Joe, you got a mic on? Ray's talking to you, Joe.
He just showed me his tablet and his iPhone.
Picked up by Rosales, juggles, then throws, and it just gets over. Side retired. So that's 8 in a row retired by Gallardo, and we're headed to the 4th. 3-1 Rangers lead. 10 picks in this year's Major League Baseball draft, which wrapped up today. So A's with the first 2 picks, a couple of shortstops, including Richie Martin from Florida, the 20th overall pick. Then you see out of the top 10, 5 pitchers, a couple of center fielders, a catcher. And it looks like a lot of college kids in there. It's like I only see 1 high schooler out of the first 10. But the full 40 picks, the A's took 21 pitchers. So 21 out of 40 picks were pitchers, which I think is fairly common. Teams generally take a lot of pitchers. 16 right-handers, 5 left-handers. So the draft finished up today.
A lot of happy youngsters, and it'll be signing the contracts and off to play professional baseball. Always a great time of the year. Trying to get right here to the big ones.
Chirinos reach for that one. It's a little pop-up toward right. Reddick has it. And I think a couple of years ago they moved up the signing deadline, which was great. Yeah. And now the financial part of it, it's all the bonuses are pretty much slotted. I mean, Major League Baseball is basically saying this is what you're going to pay your first-round pick, which I know agents don't like it, but I think it just sort of keeps everything under control. I mean, these guys are still getting huge bonuses, but I think it takes away some of the negotiations and get into pro ball and start playing. Get in there.
The money's here.
Yeah,
always said that. And you know, 50 years ago when the draft first started, the whole idea was to eliminate big bonuses. And so what are they doing right now? They're slotting them in the millions. And Rick Monday was the #1 overall. He got 100,000. And you could say, well, you know, inflation, all that. But bottom line, right now, the slots, and I don't know exactly what they are, but we're talking millions.
Well, they're huge. Yeah,
for the first rounders.
They may have slotted it, but that doesn't mean that these kids are still getting these huge bonuses.
Exactly.
It just, I guess, it allows everybody to have a little more control of the situation. And every team has a different amount of money to spend. Obviously, you have more if you have higher picks.
When you have the international money now that they have at least slotted that, or at least allowed only so many millions to be spent for international, which is huge because seeing a lot of the Cuban players coming in, and right now they're open, pretty much free agents, and you have to wonder if that's going to change anything.
Two pitch to DeShields is inside, and Speedy DeShields is aboard. So he's on base for the 3rd time in 4 innings.
Hey, look how tough the 3rd inning was for Jesse Hahn. He hit 2 and walked 1.
Shin-Soo Choo.
And that contributed to really not a bad inning. I mean, if he hadn't hit Martin, hit bat and walked in and actually had a run scored. But he could have gotten out with just 2 runs allowed, considering all the damage and all the trouble he was in the 2nd inning.
First pitch to Choo is a base hit to left field. A broken bat. The bat rolls between 1st and 2nd on the infield grass, but Choo has a base hit.
Well, after pulling the first at bat, pulled a fastball to 2nd, got hit by a pitch, shattered his bat, and gets a base hit to left field. Watch this bat shatter.
There's a lot going on there.
Just thinking, let's see how much glue I can get and put this thing together and have a souvenir.
So, an opportunity for Prince Fielder. Big swing and a curveball, and he cues it foul up the 3rd base line. Sacrifice fly for Fielder in the 3rd inning, picking up his 42nd RBI. Boy, right off the end.
At least he knew where it was. A lot of guys swing like that, and huge swing, and they foul it. They have no idea. Prince looked, saw it rolling foul.
And the runners both go. Throw to third is in time, and they got DeShields. So Stephen Vogt throws out DeShields trying to steal third. Chu ends up at second base.
But you look at what Jesse Hahn did with the shortstop Simeon breaking behind him, and then went back to position. But it's almost like Hahn froze everybody because he waited until the shortstop got back to the position, and that's a good job of blocking the runner off third base by Brett Lawrie.
And that hit Prince Fielder.
Another hit batter. Wow.
So that's 3 hit batters in this game.
Well, another 2-strike curveball that just keeps breaking, and off the right ankle.
Now batting, number 18, Mitch Moreland.
Right foot did not get up high enough for the ankle.
Then you got to decide, how is he mad at me right now? Because he's trying to get his balance, head to first base, but you saw Jesse Hahn drop a my bad on him. 2 on, 2 out for Mitch Moreland. Curve down and in. Well, it's been a battle for Jesse Hahn. He has not struck anybody out, and then Venditti up again.
Well, he's getting some ground ball outs, a couple off the bat of Adam Rosales, but just not the Jesse Hahn we're accustomed to seeing. And still say, when you start looking at guys and they're pitching, how tough it is to be in the rotation. And Jesse pitched on the 4th. This is the 10th, so you got an extra day's rest, and sometimes that can affect the control of a pitcher. As badly as guys want off days, sometimes it works against them.
1-0 pitch, broken bat, hit foul down the left field line.
Well, maybe Jesse's setting a couple of records tonight. Most hit batters and most broken bats.
In 1 inning?
In 1 inning. Look at that. And that's the scary part. Well, they got part of it right. Just ties a record. Boy, okay, that's again the bat heading down towards the first base coach.
So 1-1 to Moreland, who had an RBI single in the 3rd. He later scored in that inning. Hit hard, but foul. So Hahn ties an Oakland record with 3 hit batters in 1 game. It's the 9th time it's been done. Hey, a guy threw a no-hitter last night, hitting 3 batters.
That's right. Unfortunately, Jesse is not going to get the no-hitter part tonight, although he did hit 3 already.
1-2. Outside with a fastball, so the count even at 2-2. 67 pitches for Hahn, with Venditti loosening for the 2nd inning in a row, so he's ready.
But see, the thing about Venditti, and a lot of times they say if you get up 3 times and you don't go in, you're done for the night. Venditti, that's not true, because he can throw left.
That's right.
And then he can throw right. And
so if they say 3 times, with him it would be 6.
Yeah. That's great multiplication. That's
as good as I got right. Don't stretch me out any further than that, man. But Venditti is definitely ready.
Both arms, he's ready. And Gallo, the lefty, is in the on-deck circle. And why does Moreland always have to come up in critical situations, especially hitting here?
And he hits it hard, and that's going to get through into right field, beats the shift. Chu's going to come around to score, and Moreland does it again, and he has become an A's killer. And that's a hard hit ball through the shift.
It's a ground ball to second base, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And Moreland hit it where a second baseman would normally be playing, right there, but Zobrist into right field and could not get to it.
So a tough night for Jesse Hahn. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, coming in to pitch for the Athletics,
by Sungevity on Saturday, June the 20th against the Angels. Be one of the 15,000 fans to walk away with a gnome of the Athletics ace pitcher where the ball really lights up from solar panels built into the gnome. Get your tickets now by calling 877-493-BALL or visiting athletics.com/tickets.
So Jesse Hahn knocked out here in the 4th inning. This was never sharp.
Now batting, number 13, Joey
so
Gallo.
Pat Venditti comes in to face Joey Gallo. Venditti will throw left-handed with 2 on, 2 out, and a run in. 4-0, or make it 4-1 Rangers. And the first pitch is a sweeping slider that catches the inside corner.
Already making an appearance a couple of times here, and of course in Boston.
Pitched 1 inning last night through just 8 pitches.
Right-handed. I did ask him today because I was thinking about the sleeveless, and I said, "You ever wear sleeves?" He said, "I try not to." He said, "But if it gets cold, I will." So evidently, so far at least here, he has not experienced the cold weather enough to have to wear the sleeves. Some guys don't like to be restricted by the sleeves.
And Gallo swings and misses, so Venditti does his job, gets the strikeout. A run for the Rangers. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Texas 4 and the A's 1.
Minor league coordinator or something. Roving.
A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Prism. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Prism. Learn how at prism.com. Beautiful sunset here in the Bay Area. Bottom of the 4th inning with the Rangers leading 4-1. A little work to do, but time to do it for the Athletics. Vogt, Butler, and Laurie here in the 4th. Vogt is a little flare, and it's fair down the 3rd base line. Stephen Vogt hustling for second, and he'll have a leadoff double.
Oh, you take that in a heartbeat, won't you? Oh, flare time. See what happens when you stay back and let the ball come to you, and Stephen Vogt does it.
Now batting, designated hitter, 16.
Slider cutter inside and shot at the left field. And watch him go. That's a nice turn. He said, "I'm going to take 2. I'm going to stand up, not even have to worry about sliding head first."
That's not catcher speed, Ray.
No.
Step above.
For now.
So here's Butler, who takes a strike.
Found out that Blake Swihart, Boston Red Sox switch hitting catcher, run so well. He said, I've only been catching since I got the pro ball. So he said, my legs are okay for now.
He's okay for now.
He was an infielder. Signed him and made him a catcher. So, Swihart, one of the good ones in the American League, and right now has the good legs for running. But the more he catches, that will disappear quickly.
So 0-2 to Butler. Butler hit a fly ball to center field. Hit it well in the first inning, but nothing to show for it. Up and in with a fastball. So Gallardo goes up and in. We'll see if now he works down and away.
See, if Billy had actually turned away for that, he'd probably turned into it and taken it on the backside. Was able to get out of the way of it. On the purpose pitch, like you said, and go back in, double it up inside, or go breaking ball away.
And it looked like a high breaking ball. Maybe not where Gallardo wanted it, but it worked as Butler strikes out. So he's 0 for 2.
Chirinos wants it up a little bit, but probably not up there, but got away with it. And there lie in the problem. You get a leadoff double, and he's still at second base after 1 out. And Butler, who hit the ball hard his first at bat, and out to straightaway center, and not able to do anything this at bat.
There's Laurie. Gallardo takes a quick glance at Vogt, but I don't think he's too concerned about Vogt taking off. Laurie struck out looking to end the first inning. And right on the outside corner, it's 0-2. A couple of pretty good pitches to start the at bat against Laurie.
4 pitches to Butler, 3 strikes and a purpose pitch, and now 2 perfectly thrown pitches to Brett Laurie.
Chirinos sets up way off the plate, and it goes off his glove. So Vogt will go to third. So a big 90 feet for the A's. Popped right off his glove.
That should be a pass ball because he wanted the pitch. He knew it was a breaking ball and just clanked. Look where he's in the left-handed batter's box. Talk about a chase pitch. Mid chased him all the way to the backstop. He just missed it. Maybe he's unaccustomed to being that far outside.
Yeah.
So ground ball. The A's have another run. Except to the pitcher, and Stephen Vogt can look around and see the infielders all playing back with a couple of strikes on Brett Laurie, and ball's hit on the ground, going contact.
Shot foul into the seats. Be careful down there. So the count remains 1-2 to Laurie. 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. High target, and it's hit high and foul. Hey, look who's in the Rangers dugout. We know Mike Maddox is there because he's the pitching coach. That's his brother Greg Maddox, who he's hiding. Come on. Come on, we want to talk about you. He's a special assistant to the general manager, and he's been with the Rangers for 4 years now. 355 career wins.
He never smiled.
The outside corner was.
Never smiled when he pitched. But I think I recall when Greg Maddox was in the starting rotation, he had LASIK surgery in between starts. Now he's wearing glasses. But a pitcher who, I don't know, just unbelievable, the movement on the pitches that he would get. And the one thing I remember about him, he always took his warm-up tosses out of the stretch. And his brother Mike is a pitching coach. He's wearing number 31 in honor of his brother, who Greg went Hall of Fame last year. Very nice induction speech.
I'd sit right next to him.
Absolutely. He is very smart. Dave Magnan, the hitting coach, to his left, saying, what are you talking about? All about pitching.
It's on the ground. These are going to get a run. Laurie puts it in play, and so the pass ball helps the Athletics.
That's a great.
So it's now 4-2.
Great at bat. Take the unearned run, which the pass ball creates that, depending what happens now. But Brett Laurie fouled off the tough pitcher's pitches and got a fastball down and in and hit it on the ground. That's all he was trying to do. And that is a big run that the A's could not get last night. A couple of opportunities, but tonight, twice they've had a runner at third, less than 2 outs, and both times they've gotten him in.
So now 4-2, 2 outs for Muncy.
But you think about taking your warm-up tosses out of the stretch, because as Greg Maddux said, your most critical times of pitching with runners on base.
Makes perfect sense.
So why not take your warm-up tosses on time? Of course, I don't know, the winning 355 games, he ever had any trouble.
He had it under control.
But when he pitched for the Braves, and remember an interleague series, came in and he was the starting pitcher, and he was on the bench with Bobby Cox. Bobby Cox, the manager. Greg Maddux was there watching the A's take batting practice, just in case he noticed something that hitters might be doing during that period of time.
And Maddux went into the Hall of Fame last summer
without a logo.
That's right.
He and Tony La Russa both manager and pitcher.
Well, it would have been tough. Maddux started with the Cubs and went back to the Cubs actually a little bit later on in his career, but of course probably at his best with the Atlanta Braves, with the Dodgers at the end, and the Padres.
But he did say that he owed allegiance to the Cubs as well as the Braves, even though knowing more of the Braves with Smoltz and Glavine.
Grounded, backhanded by Rosales, but he can't make a play, and the shift got the Rangers there, as even if Rosales fields, I think Muncy was going to beat it out. So the shift was on, and Muncy gets a base hit.
Well, there is Adam Rosales. He had a range so far to his right and just could not come up with it. And again, a lot of times you have to play defense based on, well, your instructor where to position yourself as far as the shift, but sometimes when a hitter gets a couple of strikes, that changes everything. How's a pitcher going to pitch him with 2 strikes?
So here's Semien.
If you were playing behind Greg Maddux and then they wanted to shift, you could rest assured that Greg Maddux would pitch according to the shift. But not every pitcher can do that.
He may not have wanted the shift.
I don't think so. No. Greg Maddux, another. I think his residence is in Nevada.
There's a base hit center field. Line drive by Semien. Muncy with the big turn, but he'll stop there. So 3 hits in the inning for the A's, and now Sam Fuld will step up.
Marcus Semien. Success against Gallardo, of course, that occurred in this first game. So good swing by Marcus Semien, just taking it right back up the middle. It's the old Santa not trying to do too much. Brett Laurie, a great at bat to plate the run, and now the A's, Sam Fuld can come through with a hit, have a chance to score at least another one. Sam tripled against Gallardo on that first inning, opening night. Did triples in what, 3 consecutive games?
Good start did Sam Fuld offensively, but boy, he's really been struggling for a while now. I think as much as Bob Elwood would like to get him some more playing time, he just has not been able to get going offensively.
Benzover was coming back too. Changed all of that. As we knew, when he got healthy, he was going to play second or left field.
So 1-1 the count to Fuld.
Hey. Great camera work, great play. Wow.
Ron Friesen, our cameraman right next to us, took care of that. Ron had it under control.
That's a great shot. Flat bill cap the whole thing. Got it all. Ready to go. I got it. See, got to take charge. You're center fielder.
1-1 pitch. Fuld hits a little pop-up, hustling over his Gallo, and he cannot quite get it. He Actually did the right thing, go into a slide. Protect yourself a little bit. Unless you're Josh Donaldson, then you just go right over the target. Get lost for a split second.
And create a bobblehead.
Come up with the baseball and you got a bobblehead.
You're right. Gallo with no help from the A's dugout, which is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Look at Laurie. Brett Laurie probably would end up in his dugout. He'd have gotten over there so quickly.
So full behind in the count. 1-2. Muncy at second. Simeon at first. At any rate, it feels like the A's are trailing about 8-2, but it's only 4-2.
That's right. And on to the fourth inning.
Jesse Hahn struggled so much. Just missed outside to even the count 2-2.
That's where you better have a good eye, because that was close, especially with 2 strikes. DeShields playing very shallow in left field. Everybody else respecting the possible power from Sam Fuld.
Fuld swings and misses, got him down and in. So a run on 3 hits for the Athletics, and we're on to the 5th. Elvis Andrus to lead it off. 4-2 Rangers lead. Sportsnet Central all the way through the playoffs. Game 4 coverage begins at 4 p.m. tomorrow with a special 2-hour event on CSN Plus. The coverage that you expect from the home of the authentic Warrior fans. Cavs leading the Warriors 2-1 in the best of 7. Game 4 from Cleveland tomorrow night. So,
wait a minute. He was pitching left-handed against the Gallo. Oh, that's right. It's Venditti.
Got to keep an eye on him. Well, pitch to Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, called a strike, and he can't believe it.
Well, 3 pitches, 3 breaking pitches to Gallo, and the last one just kept floating outside, and Venditti got him and left a couple of runners on base.
And now 1-2. Has reached twice tonight on fielder's choices.
So when you're marking down your scorebook, you're saying, okay, Gallo struck out against the lefty. Now Andrus facing the righty. Strikes him out. With a good fastball.
Right in the outside corner. Flips the glove around, and he's ready to throw left-handed.
Had him looking for the slider that he swung and missed a few times. I wouldn't argue too much about that, Elvis, because that was a great pitch. Nothing wrong with this fastball, right on the corner. And I think it's just a matter he was guessing slider and the fastball there. When Venditti came in last inning, they had him on a split screen as he was throwing. It was interesting, the fans watching, waiting for him to flip the glove over. As he threw 4 from the right hand and then flipped it over to throw 4 from the left.
Well, it's hard not to like a story like this. Around the minor leagues for quite a while, especially with the Yankees.
Well, today is the 10th of June. In 20 days, he'll turn 30. So, 29-year-old rookie. And, you know, just given the opportunity, look at Stephen Vogt, the success he's had. And Pat Venditti trying to do the same with the new organization.
And the 3-0 pitch is inside to Leonis Martin. So he has a 4-pitch walk. So he's been on base all 3 times tonight. These are looking for a pitcher to just have an easy inning. So here's Rosales, the 8th place hitter.
See him stretch a little bit. He just faced right-hander Andrus, so right-handed, goes left-handed, and then kind of stretches the arm a little bit. The right hand going back. I still think it's remarkable that you could switch back and forth and keep both arms ready.
It was funny reading today about over the weekend when Venditti came into the game. It was in Boston. Pablo Sandoval actually is left-handed. He throws left-handed, but he taught himself how to throw right-handed when he was young because he wanted to be an infielder. And he throws left-hander.
Yeah.
And he was very interested to see Venditti pitch. Thought it was pretty cool. 2-0 now to Adam Rosales. I think Sandoval said he's got a little better velocity than Venditti does.
So Sandoval switch hitter, switch pitcher.
Yes,
it's pretty good.
So 2-0 pitch is right in there, first strike. Rosales has grounded out twice.
Staying the fastballs as he did, throwing to the left hand of Martin and around to the right side. And Adam Rosales has seen fastballs.
Keep an eye on Martin. And there is a strike. Grabs the inside corner, 84 miles an hour.
Just barely got the inside corner.
Quick throw. Martin inching off at first. Got some jawing going on between Adrian Johnson and Jeff Bannister.
They thought he balked because of the quickness in which he threw the ball.
There's that slider just outside. Tough pitch to lay off of. It's Robinson Chirinos waiting to hit. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Martin runs and the slider's way outside, and Rosales has a walk. So back-to-back walks. Kurt Young's going to have a chat with Venditti. So A's pitchers have walked 4 now so far in the game, and we're just in the 5th inning.
Kurt very simply said, you have a sinker ball that you could throw for a ground ball to get 2 to get out of the center. See, that's some knowledge of a pitching coach. That's kind of, keep it simple. Give me a sinker, get 2, back in the dugout.
I got a number for you. You want to hear this number I just counted? And I don't even think I counted 17 base runners for the Rangers so far in this game.
It's already in the 5th.
17 base runners. I have to triple check that.
Probably right.
17 base runners. They've stranded 7 through 4 innings. Here's Chirinos. Swing and a miss. 86 miles an hour from Venditti. That's why it feels like it's a larger deficit for the A's than just 4-2.
Well, it feels like it's about midnight too. And that's why if you're an infielder, you stay loose because you're going to get a ground ball and you're going to have to turn 2 to get out of this inning.
Chirinos walked and scored in the 3rd. Hit a fly ball to right field in the 4th. Slider away. 1-1 the count.
I remember in this game the Rangers have had a runner picked off and a runner thrown out.
That's right.
So 3 hit batters, 4 walks, and a partridge and a pear tree. I mean, this has been quite a game.
Martin at second. Rosales at first. Plenty of speed out there for the Rangers. Venditti delivers, and like a broken bat as it was a fastball running in on Chirinos, and he gets a new piece of lumber. Nice job by the bat boy. That was good effort. Huh?
I was just thinking of Cliff Clavin and Matt Weiss and how many they taught to get the bat there so quickly, and boy, you could see the efficiency of the bat boys. You see Mike Thalblom on the visiting side of the bat boys. And Steve Vucinich has his crew, but well, they have the bats right there ready to go.
2-2 now. Settled in. He had the bat to Chirinos before Chirinos walked past the other batter's box.
He's growing a beard like a player.
Huge foul.
It's pretty bad. The bat boy looks older than some of the players.
I'm telling you, I thought it was Nick Martinez.
Yeah. You have a full beard by tomorrow.
Didn't he pitch last night?
Yeah.
So another 2-2 to Chirinos. Here it is. It's outside with a fastball. So now 3-2 with good speed on the bases. We'll see if they run. There's 1 out.
Well, back-to-back strikeouts, then walk at another 3-2. So 3-0, 4-pitch walk to Martin. Rosales got the slider 3-2 and took it. And see what Chirinos gets 3-2.
Go. And the pitch is lofted to shallow left. Fultz coming in, and this should be a double play. He's got it, fires it back in, and it is a double play. So that's it for the Rangers. They do not score, and we're going to the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 Texas. to the schedule. That includes tomorrow. Join us at 12:30 for A's baseball breakfast against these Texas Rangers. It's all presented by Black Bear Diner. Every A's game will now be televised this season. So we'll join you right at first pitch, 12:30. We'll slide over and go to work with Vince Cotroneo tomorrow.
I'm going to see if that Chichi Gonzalez brings up Chichi Rodriguez.
I'm going to say it like 4 times tomorrow. Chichi Rodriguez. I think I've already said Chichi Rodriguez. I apologize to Chichi Gonzalez family. Andrus, quick throw, and they got him. Well, he had to hurry. He was playing shallow in a couple steps from his normal spot.
Now batting
Close play.
Now, Billy Burns slapping, Billy Burns running, but Elvis Andrus very good, staying underneath and throwing from right there, that position. And if he thinks about doing anything other than just throwing that way, he's not going to get it. It's Bill Miller, the veteran first base umpire, down to one knee to make the call.
So 1 out for Reddick. Chichi Rodriguez, the great golfer.
Right. Maybe he could come out and do some trick shots before Chichi Gonzalez pitches.
Trick shot.
Yeah. Very good golfer.
2-0 to Reddick, who has singled and struck out looking.
He's a good golfer on the edge. Tyler Clippard.
Tyler Clippard's supposed to be a stud.
Yeah, without a scratch. And of course, the coaching staff of the Athletics is one of the best when it comes to playing golf. But Tyler Clippard can definitely play some golf. You have a scratch handicap 0. That's pretty good for an amateur.
Tough to find guys to play with.
Unless you give 10 aside.
Exactly. Take all their money.
Quark's a good golfer.
And Quark's a very good golfer.
Yeah. His knee injury has not affected his golf game.
Nice play. Moreland shuffles to Gallardo. 2 outs.
And Vendetti, the switch pitcher, thrown from the right side. And right side, and that's the right-hander.
I love that.
He gets Gallo with a strikeout. That's good. He's got both arms working.
You gotta stretch both rotator cuffs.
Just he knows his pitch. I mean, you show up. How about that? Shows up over the weekend in Boston. He comes to the Coliseum. He already has his sign. I mean, that's not one that's just paint. I mean, that's a professionally done sign.
So, you know, when guys go in the dugout and they put like the jacket on over their right arm, he has to put the jacket all the way on.
And both arms. Right. So when the A's go to play in the National League parks and he gets on base, if he ever hits, of course, there's many innings that he might be called upon to pitch.
He's going back out there, so you got to stretch them both out. This is all new stuff for us to watch.
I'd just like to see an umpire say you get 8 with each arm. You go out and throw 4 from the right, 4 from the left. Oh, 8 and 8.
0-2 to Zobrist. High fastball he lays off.
But I think the one comment that we heard from John Farrell was, I had enough trouble throwing from right-handed only. And now this guy throws effectively both sides.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and a mirror image of the lefty to righty. So he's got a chance to pitch some innings. Chance A's can come back, get his first major league win.
And Zobrist swings at a pitch in the dirt. And Gallardo has his third 3-up, 3-down inning in 5 innings. So we're on to the 6th, 4-2 Rangers. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. So the Rangers leading the A's 4-2 as we have reached the top of the 6th inning. And it'll be the top of the order. Pat Venditti's back out there to face the top of the order. DeShields, Chu, and Prince Fielder. First pitch hit to shallow right center. Burns coming in, and Burns using that great speed makes the catch. So that's out number 1. So in the break, we were watching a highlight of Torrey Hunter. Now Torrey Hunter's great player, veteran, been around for a long time, and it was one of the best snaps of all time. He got called out by the home plate umpire on a 3rd strike, and a one-sided game. His Twins were losing, and he started to argue, got thrown out, and then when it was all said and done, his uniform was off, and he threw it at the umpire.
Threw off what, both batting gloves, one over elbow guard, shin guard, then jersey.
Jersey
cap,
came off.
Made everything.
Just fired it. He was not happy, to say the least. One and 1 to Chu, who has grounded out, been hit by a pitch, and singled and scored.
You see that note at the top where it says 29 pitches? You got to put up left and right, because really it makes a big difference for Pat Venditti. You can't go by the pitch count with this young man.
Grounded slowly to Zobrist, scoops it up.
I think Scott Emerson, the bullpen coach, said it best. You can throw 35, 40 with each arm. You know?
We're learning a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a very legitimate point. He's thrown 30 pitches, but how many with the left arm?
So this box up here, let's change that. Go RH, LH, right?
Yeah. We got our stat man BI, who's going to start keeping track of that.
So BI, LH, RH. But I mean, really, all these things.
You're right, though.
Yeah,
I agree. So what you're really saying is he could be out there a while.
Absolutely.
The only switch hitter the Rangers have is Carlos Corcoran, who's not in the lineup. So Venditti does not have to declare what arm he wants to throw with to anybody like he does when there's a switch hitter coming up. Strike. Prince Fielder's not going to like that call. Not everybody's thrilled with Adrian Johnson tonight.
Right, what he's doing, Venditti's throwing. I mean, he's mixing his fastballs and sliders in to. It's a good breaking ball.
Good swing by Prince Fielder. He missed it, so that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Pat Venditti. He gets a standing ovation. How about that? 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 11th, 1990. Former Texas Ranger Nolan Ryan pitched the 6th no-hitter of his career, and he did it here in Oakland.
Yep.
It was a major league record at the time, and he added a couple more after that. Rangers beat the A's that night 5-0. Ryan was the first to pitch no-hitters in 3 different decades to accomplish the feat for 3 different teams, and at the age of 43, the oldest to throw a no-hitter. So there's the no-hitters. Couple in 73, one in 74. Those are when he was with the California Angels, and he was striking out 350 guys a year.
And remember, 7 no-hitters, 7 different catchers. Jeff Torborg, Art Kirshner, I know for sure in those 2. Kush always said, Nolan and I are tight. Yeah, I just tell Nolan what I need, you know, that's all. Well, this is just the 6th inning. Gallardo, though, after the first inning, did have a 3-hit 4th inning, but A's could come up with just 1 run. Both started that with an opposite field double.
Well, Nolan, we all know about the fastball. He had a great curveball too. I remember watching him snap off the curveball.
Yeah, and it'd be coming at your head, and you'd say, "I'm out of here." And the umpires, you hit the dirt and say strike 3, and said, "I don't care. I'm not going to take a chance that I misread the spin of the baseball, and it's a fastball, and it hit me in the head." And not on top, he would grunt every time he threw it, and that scared you to death as a hitter. I mean, you know, he's throwing seemed like 120 miles an hour with a curveball, and then he's out there just grunting like crazy.
Good pitch there by Gallardo, and Vogt knew it. So that's 6 strikeouts for Yovani Gallardo. And that's a pretty well placed pitch right there. That is a strikeout.
Now batting, designated hitter, 16, Billy.
It's called can't pull the trigger, and I'm going to tip my cap and head to the dugout. Wow.
So right at 90 pitches with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Decent job with first pitch strikes as he faces Butler. Astros lost again. The White Sox beat the Astros 4-1. So that is 7 consecutive losses for the Astros, and for the first time this year they have hit a tough stretch.
And for the first time they're looking at a lot of teams in the Western Division breathing down their necks.
Abreu, LaRoche, and Soto homered for the White Sox. Astros sent one of their prospects to the mound, Vincent Velasquez, who made his major league debut tonight. He got a no decision, went 5 innings, but starting to see the Astros slowly bring up some of these big time prospects that they have. We saw McCullers make his major league debut. Carlos Correa, the shortstop, is now in the big leagues, and he's doing his thing. Inside corner, strike 3 called. So 3 consecutive strikeouts for Yovani Gallardo.
Yeah, Billy looking back towards the home plate umpire, but man, that looked like a very good pitch, at least from that angle. And this is over the top. Well, that's painting the corner, inside corner. Adrian Johnson looking right at it.
Now batting, third baseman, number 15, Brett Laurie.
See, that's the thing that I don't like, Ray, is I get the arguing and going back, and I know umpires get frustrated just like hitters do. But it's that hand wave, it's that shoo away, just go. See, I mean, that's I don't understand that. One to Laurie. Big curve is in for a strike. Count 0-2. Laurie has struck out, and they got an RBI ground out that scored Vogt. That was in the 4th inning. And he chases the pitch in the dirt, and just like that, Yovani Gallardo strikes out the side in the bottom of the 6th, and A's are not happy at this point. 4-2 after 6.
I think this was how they did it. A fielder's choice as Adam Rosales decided to go for the double play, could not. And Billy Burns scored. Looked good for the A's, but then Mitch Moreland, of course, always a threat against the Athletics. Then a hit patter, and that forced in a run, and then Mitch Moreland does it again with a solid base hit against the shift. And plated Chu, Jesse Hahn out, Venditti in, and did a good job, but the A's still trailing by 2 runs, 4-2, as we go into the 7th inning. New pitcher, but we'll tell you that find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world. We wanted to see Venditti some more.
I know. It's good fun.
Yeah.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts as Fernando Abad comes in. 24th appearance for Abad.
Been a while for him, and of course the added left-handers Drew Pomerantz and Eric O'Flaherty to join Abad. So now 3 lefties, or actually 4 now with Venditti, who throws from both sides.
Well, the last time Abad pitched, Ray, was May 30th.
How about that?
Today is June 10th. So he faces Moreland, Gallo, and Andrus. Good curveball there. As Moreland swings over top. 1-1 the count. So Venditti goes 2 1/3. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So Pat Venditti did a nice job. And you know what? If the A's come back and win this game, you're going to look back and say Venditti kept it close. Could have been a cross-up. Stephen Vogt hangs in there. He's got that look like I can't believe I actually caught it. Watch how he catches it. He framed it a little bit too. Slider down and away. 2-2. Moreland is 2 for 3 with 2 RBI singles.
Stephen Vogt decided, let's get the signs correct. 2 strikes, and I mean, really, it's not a runner at second. Unless Simeon is counted as a runner at second. He's played defense. He's on the outfield grass. And I think it was Abad who threw 3 consecutive cross-ups to Josh Phegley.
That was weird.
Yeah, kept calling fastballs, kept throwing sliders. You get a little jumpy as a catcher, though, if you put down 3 fingers for a slider and all of a sudden a 1 is the result, and that would be a fastball, because it's scary. Then you start wondering, is he not seeing? Is he not calling the right pitch?
Good fastball, and Moreland can't catch up. 1 away here in the 7th inning.
Now, maybe 2 additional lefties in the bullpen. Of course, I keep saying that, not thinking about Venditti could pitch from the left side, but for Fernando Abad, last year unhittable, 13, especially against lefties. And that's a good sign there. 3-2, kind of telling the world I'm going to throw a fastball and throw it right by Moreland. Still has a very good hard breaking pitch.
So here's Joey Gallo, who singled in the 2nd, singled in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th. So Gallo, batting average good in the very early going. And this one's hit high in the air. Got it off the end of the bat a little bit, and Burns takes care of it for the 2nd out.
Right, because he is checking his bat, kind of stretching his eyes, opening up, but eyes real wide, maybe clarity, especially lefty on lefty.
Andrews.
So 2 outs for Elvis Andrus, who is 0 for 3. Rays beat the Angels 4-2 in St. Petersburg. Longoria home run for Tampa Bay.
If you're thinking about the division and you're chasing a team that continues to lose, a losing streak, you're upset when you lose, because you have a chance to pick up ground. And I think the A's in that category as well.
Reddick grabs it. Nice inning for Fernando Abad. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. 7th inning stretch coming up from the Coliseum. The youngster Chichi Gonzalez making his third big league start. He's been very good so far for the Rangers, and he'll be opposed by Scott Kazmir. Kazmir 2-4 with a 3.14 ERA. So it all starts tomorrow at 12:30. So we've been talking about this young man, Chichi Gonzalez. He has not allowed an earned run yet in his first 2 major league starts. So we're seeing him for the first time. And the Rangers are very excited about this young right-hander. He's polite too. He said thank you to his manager. So our first look at Chichi Gonzalez tomorrow. A's tonight trying to figure out Yovani Gallardo. They've had 2 innings where they had him on the ropes in the first and the fourth. A's scored a single run in each of those 2 innings, but besides that, he's gone 3 up, 3 down inning in every other inning. So he's sitting at 98 pitches. He's retired 7 in a row. 5 of those 7 with strikeouts. So he is clearly getting better as the game goes on.
Clearly it looks like he's not going to be in the game much longer because of the old pitch count. Freeman, the lefty, gets loose. Did not see my side except warming up in the bullpen.
Max Muncy had a base hit in the 4th inning, infield hit. He also grounded out. 1 for 2 from Muncy. Inside, and now it's 3-1. Simeon to follow, and then Fold here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Muncy hits it hard. Rosales on a nice play. Handles a tough hop with a backhand, and he throws out Muncy. That was not an easy play.
No, it was.
Grabbed it.
He made it look easy. Hit very hard and to his right, backhand, and then out over the top as he always does.
10, Marcus Simeon.
So 8 consecutive A's hitters have been retired as Simeon steps up. First pitch in for a strike. The Mariners beat the Indians 9-3. Walker over Bauer. Kyle Seager hit a grand slam in that game and finished with 5 RBIs. So Seattle does take advantage of the Astros losing. The Mariners now 27-32, trying to get on a roll just like the A's are. The Mariners beat the Indians 9-3 in Cleveland. Pitches in the dirt. You saw Keela, the right-hander, joining Freeman.
And that's not Keela Kahui either.
That is not.
He was with the A's, had a walk-off in 2012. Short amount of time with the Athletics. As have been a lot of players.
Kicks the 1-2 pitch, curve, strike 3 call. So Gallardo has 9 strikeouts, and he's getting this high strike call.
Now batting left fielder, number 23,
Probably a borderline pitch, height-wise, but Adrian Johnson's calling it. 5 of the 9 strikeouts by Gallardo have been lucky.
Yep.
Sam Fold went around. Check with Jim Wolf. Most pitches that Gallardo has thrown this year is 118. Boy, by the way he's rocking and firing now, Ray, I mean, he's not tired.
No, I think the A's have to hope that the pitch count gets him out and try to take a chance with the bullpen. Not have a lot of success last night against the pen. Starting pitcher last night, Martinez went 6.
0-2 fastball low, 92 miles an hour. Strike 3 called, fastball on the outside corner. 2 more strikeouts for Gallardo, and he has retired 10 in a row. 4-2, Rangers lead after 7. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Kick up your heels at Roaring Camp's free heritage events all summer long. We've reached the 8th inning here at the O.co Coliseum with the Rangers leading the A's 4-2. And we got a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts as Evan Scribner comes in. He's been a workhorse, his 29th appearance this year, and this is game number 61 for the A's.
Well, his last one was a devastating blow in Boston on Sunday. And I think for him, a chance to get back on the mound, although 3 days later. The off day on Monday, played last night, but did not pitch.
He faces Leonis Martin, who has singled, was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, and walked. So he's been on base all 3 times. Side corner for a strike. Orioles beat the Red Sox again 5-2. So Baltimore's won 3 in a row. Chen over Porcello. Rick Porcello, ERA of 5.26 now. So he's struggling, and the Red Sox can't seem to get rolling.
Steven Vogt takes it off the helmet, reflects it on the left shoulder of Adrian Johnson. Shoulder pads on for Johnson as umpires have the inside chest protector. Saw the bench of the Rangers and Mike Maddox talking to Gallardo and his brother Greg alongside. Looks like Gallardo might be finished. That would be great for the A's.
Yeah, that's one of those we're fine.
Yeah.
So 2-2 to Martin with Rosales to follow, and then Chirinos here in the 8th. That one's belted to center. Burns hustling back, still going back, and it's over his head. He one-hops it off the wall, and Martin, limping a little bit, is into second with a leadoff double. So what a night for Leonis Martin.
Well, that's a fly ball, and talking to Ty Waller, the A's first base and outfield coach, and he said this is the kind of ball that for Billy Burns, still learning the position in center field, but gets turned around a little bit. He said, see how the ball's slicing? He turned the other way, and you know as a left-handed hitter, the ball's going to slice away towards left field. Yes, Martinez took the ball off his foot, limping a little bit, but the ball over the head for Billy Burns. He has great speed. He showed it in Houston when he came up and played out in center field, chased down some balls. But talk about the left-handed hitter for left field with the ball slicing towards the line, and same for center field. Ball sliced, he got turned around.
0-1 to Rosales with the corner infielders in. So the A's think a bunt is a possibility here. Rosales did not show that on the first pitch. Does this time, and pitches outside, so the count even at 1-1. Rosales has grounded out twice, and he walked against Venditti in the 5th inning. Again outside, and Rosales pulls the bat back.
Well, this is one of the 3 hit batters by Jesse Hahn. That was a big one because that was a 2-1 game. He's 2 strike, 0-2, and went to 2-2, and that was the 2-2 pitch. Got him on the right ankle.
Bunted, foul, and now it's 2-2. So
that was called a jab.
Yeah, that was a jab. Yeah. Now you got to figure out if you want Rosales to keep trying to bunt with 2 strikes.
Now watch this. Gets the 2. Carlos Martin got to third base on the attempted sacrifice and had to confirm with his third base coach that it was okay to score, possibly on a base hit.
2-2 is hit high in the air left field. Full going back, and he's warning track. He's got it. Martin will tag. He'll hustle to third, and he makes it. So Sam Fuld with a very good arm, but the ball was just too deep. It was onto the warning track. So Rosales, a quality at bat. He moves the runner up. So runner at third, 1 out.
There's nothing wrong with his foot.
Now batting.
He's limping into second base.
Chirinos.
That's not a deke. It's just limping. Take care of your uniform. Adam Rosales went from trying to sacrifice to get an at bat, or actually no bat, but does hit the ball and almost hit a hanging cut fastball out of the park.
Infield comes in. It's Robinson Chirinos inside with a fastball. Chirinos 0 for 2 with a walk and a run score. Chirinos walked and scored in that 3rd inning. That's when the Rangers scored 3 times. Checks his swing, but it's a strike. So it's been Hahn, Venditti, Abad, and now Scribner. Fernando Abad with a very good 7th inning. So that's a good sign. Trying to get Abad straightened out. Good pitch, called a strike. 1-2. Chirinos discussing it with Adrian Johnson. There will be no. Adrian Johnson's not going to get any invitations to dinner or anything.
No Christmas cards.
No. Swing, and they struck him out with a high fastball. Good job of pitching by Scribner as he gets a big second out.
Now back-to-back cut fastballs, then the high fastball out of the strike zone. Stephen Vogt wanted elevated. He did, and you know that's when you look at Chirinos, and again, you never disparage anybody who's at the major league level, but came into the game hitting 197, and it walks to lead off a 3-run 3rd inning. And so unfortunately, Jesse Hahn did not have his good stuff tonight and fell behind 3-0 to him before he walked it.
You know, it's funny too, Ray. Like I watched that swing. You got a runner at third, 1 out, and really 1 want to put it in play.
Exactly. That's all you have.
And it was like the full. I'm gonna swing as hard as I can, and you could tell he was way late. And you see that a lot.
Too much. There's no such thing as shortening up with 2 strikes. And you put the ball in play, anything can happen, especially with the infield in. You have the big swing, the long swing. It's unproductive.
Especially with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
So 1-2. Scribner trying to get out of the jam, get to Shields. Popped him up, and he looks like he's going to get out of the jam. Muncy is under it in foul territory, side retired. So a runner stranded at third. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Rangers 4, A's 2. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4-8-1 for the Rangers, 2-5-1 for the Athletics. Giovanni Garda was very good. He's out of the game now, but 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. A couple of big hits for Mitch Moreland. Jesse Hahn was not good tonight. He had a lot of base runners working in and out of trouble. And once again, the A's looking for those big hits. 1 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position. They were 1 for 9 last night. Like the A's have scored 2 runs tonight, and the first one came on a fielder's choice. The second one came on a ground out. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. So Sam Freeman, the lefty, comes in.
Sinker slider split for the lefty, and
right to Rosales. Burns, who goes after the first pitch, is retired.
No chance to see what a pitcher throws. Cannot change what Billy Burns has done, and saw 4 pitches his first at bat. Since then, 5 in the next 3. Freeman was warming up last night, but did not come in the game.
So here's Reddick. Reddick's 1 for 3. 5 hits for the A's. They have not had a hit since the 4th inning. In fact, 11 consecutive A's hitters have been retired. Detweiler last night. So Detweiler and Freeman are the 2 left-handers in the Rangers bullpen. So you have 8 pitchers out in that bullpen. They have 6 right-handers. And now 3-0, not close.
Well, this is a big pitch. 3-0. If he throws a strike, I figure Josh Reddick's going to be taking and could get him back kind of in the groove to throw strikes. Got that one in. That's what they usually do on a 3-0 count. And it goes back to throwing hard, and this is where Josh Reddick has to be patient, especially lefty on lefty.
And a strike called outside corner, so a full count. Reddick singled in the first, struck out in the third, grounded out in the fifth. And he lines one to right, and that's going to be a hit. Chu over to backhand it, so Reddick is 2 for 4.
Fans, you can join Jose Canseco, Dave Henderson, and other former A's players for the 2016 Oakland Athletics Fantasy Camp held from January the 15th to the 21st at the A's new spring training facility in Mesa, Arizona. Get out of the stands and onto the field and create lasting memories with former A's greats. For more information and details, go to www.hendersonbaseball.com or call 509-993-7338. And with that, we'll have a pitching change.
All right, we'll be back. New pitcher coming in, a right-hander for the Rangers. Tanner Scheppers is the new pitcher. Scheppers pitched last night, and he's back out there tonight.
Second baseman, number 18.
Scheppers pitched an inning last night, threw only 9 pitches. So he takes over, and Zobrist will hit. Zobrist is the tying run with Reddick aboard at first. Pitch to Zobrist is a fastball low, 94 miles an hour from Scheppers. Zobrist is 0 for 3. He knocked in a run with a fielder's choice back in the first inning. 1 for 7 in the series.
Well, this is a good sign because he has a runner on. He's hit a grand slam and a 2-run home run for the 2 that he's hit.
And swings through that one.
Trying to tie it with that.
Reddick with the base hit, the 6th hit for the A's in the game. Defense pretty straight away for Zobrist. The pitch is low, 2-1.
Well, he is trying to do to the Rangers what the Red Sox did to the A's last Sunday. 7 innings, Graveman pitched great. Then Red Sox got to the A's bullpen and powered it tonight, 10 in a row, 10 strikeouts. A great job, and especially those last 10 they retired consecutively. Most of them were strikeouts.
There's a base hit right field. Reddick's going to try for third. Chu's throw to third is high, and back to second. It's over. The ball goes into right field, and that's going to allow Reddick to come in and score. And Zobrist is going to end up at third, and just like that, it's 4-3.
And kind of just what we were talking about last night and today, aggressiveness on the base path. Josh Reddick had to avoid being hit by the ball. The base hit by Zobrist, yet he still tested the arm of Chu in right field. The strong throw, then Zobrist going to second base on the throw to third base. And that quickly with a throw going back into right field. There's your error by Gallo, throwing it past Rosales between his legs. But Josh Reddick, well, there's the aggressiveness they're looking for. Why not take the chance, head first slide, and he's going to score on the overthrow back to second base.
So now they're going to walk Vogt. And really the play, Gallo, when he went to throw to third, or when he went to throw to second, there really wasn't a Ranger there.
No. And that's why Rosales had to go through his legs, because he got there late without, like you said, anybody being there initially.
So Rosales tried to make the play, but really it was the Gallo throw. He shouldn't have thrown it at all. So Vogt will head to first. And now it's going to be up to Billy Butler. Runners at the corners, 1 out here in the 8th.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 16, Billy Butler.
The A's will try to completely take advantage of a huge defensive mistake by the Rangers. So Chirinos goes through the signs out in front of home plate with the runners at first and third. Billy Butler, a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to center field so far. Zobrist at third, Vogt at first. And the first pitch to Butler is a fastball a bit high.
Well, you'd like to think that Billy Butler's been in these situations a lot of times. And we saw last night, runner at third twice. And actually 3 pitches and 3 outs, basically, swinging at first pitch and overly aggressive.
Swing, gonna miss on a high fastball, 95 miles an hour. So Shepard's always been a hard thrower.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch might have been a ball, but Adrian Johnson's strike zone north and south, up and down, has been, well, pitcher friendly tonight. So Billy Butler swinging at probably a pitch he thought was going to be called a strike.
And he swung at a ball there, fouled it right near home plate. Pitch was low. 1-2 the count. So now Butler's going to have to battle Shepard. On deck is Laurie. Short lead by Vogt at first. And he taps it in the hole. Andrus can't get it, and this game is tied. Butler just a chopper that got through the left side. It's an RBI single, 4-4 game.
That has to feel so great for Billy Butler. Coming through big time, and man, this to the right or the left, and it's a double play, but he hit it hard, top spin, got it through the infield. Shepard threw it, hoping that it was going to be caught. It was not. And at that point, no chance to do anything except watch the ball go in left field. And that quickly, Gallardo has a no decision. And there's got to be a pinch runner for Stephen Vogt. It is Eric Sogard. And that man right there started it. As Josh Reddick singled with 2 strikes off the lefty, went to third, maybe ill-advised, but still made it and caused all the havoc in this inning. The point the A's have tied it.
So Sogard to pinch run. Vogt is out.
Now batting third baseman.
And here's Laurie.
Laurie.
So 3 hits in the inning, a costly error, a walk. And now the A's have a chance to take the lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. This pitch to Laurie is a half swing. He fouls it at home plate. Laurie is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. His ground out knocked in a run in the 4th inning.
is going to come in regardless.
Yep.
As he'll try to save it if the A's have the lead. If not, send it into the bottom of the 9th inning and try to get a win.
Swing and a miss. A fastball at 96 miles an hour. Looked like Laurie may have been looking for something away or maybe off speed pitch.
I think he's hoping to get an off speed pitch, because that would be a good one to shoot to right field.
Tried the outside corner but missed off the plate. 1-2. Outfield shifted a little bit toward right center. 1-2 pitch is hit high in the air, left center. Hanging up for Martin. He's got it, and that's the second out.
You know, the good news there, it wasn't a double play, because that puts Max Muncy with a chance to do something as a young player. He's a patient player, can use the whole field, and also gives Eric Sogard a chance off second base with 2 outs to break on contact. I don't know that Brett Laurie, with his speed, could have been doubled or would have been doubled up, but any ball in the infield, always a possibility. And Max Muncy given the opportunity tonight to play at first base. Left-handed bat.
Looking for a big hit. And the first pitch is hit high in the air to right. Chu going back. He's at the wall, in front of the wall. Makes the catch.
Wow.
So Muncy comes up a little short, but the A's tie it with a couple of runs here in the bottom of the 8th. So 9th inning coming up. It's a 4-4 game.
Home run.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-time automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
So the A's tied it. 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. So now, have a little fun here in the 9th as Tyler Clippard comes in for his 25th appearance. And he'll face Chu, Fielder, and Moreland. So 3 good hitters. All left-handed hitters. First pitch to Chu is a strike.
We're going to talk to Max Muncy, and he's going to say, I crushed that ball. And tomorrow we had a home run. Tonight has caught at the wall. That close. As he's experienced the colder, heavier air at nighttime, as he has hit a few balls that he has felt that he's hit well enough to hit out.
High fly ball headed to foul territory, and Sanford gets there.
Well, he jumped on a first pitch fastball. Max Muncy did, and Shepherd's gave him the pitch, and Muncy had to be thinking, I got it. But unfortunately, the heavy air must have knocked it down, because Chu went back, maybe thinking about playing it off the wall, but got it right at the base of the wall. And I think we saw a young man a little frustrated. Swung well, hit it well, but just unfortunately stayed in the park.
So here's Prince Fielder, who takes a first pitch strike. So Fegley is now the catcher. Vogt is out of the game.
Okay, the big inning right now was last inning when a double leading off the inning against Scribner. Martin ends up at third base, and Rangers cannot score.
Yep.
And it made it a 2-run game. The A's have tied it into the 9th inning.
And a miss on a high changeup, 0-2.
And to your point about Chirino swinging so hard with 2 strikes, and Scribner throwing a good fastball, and there's a great changeup to Prince Fielder. Tried to wait, couldn't wait, swung through it.
So Clippard ahead 0-2. Fastball foul back. This pitch was well up and in. Probably not Prince's best swing, but he was able to foul it off. That's all that matters.
Remember, Sogard pinch ran for Stephen Vogt, so Josh Fegley, the only remaining true catcher in the game right now.
0-2 pitch, and it stays high.
A heartbreaking ball, and curveball. Fegley almost looked like he was crossed up the way he went up and then came down with a curveball.
1-2 pitch, a high changeup, and Prince Fielder swings and misses, and that's the second out.
Some would say that maybe a good changeup hitter, but Tyler Clippard's got a great changeup. He just proved it by throwing multiple changeups to big Prince Fielder, and he could not wait long enough to catch up. And
so here's Mitch Moreland, a more dangerous hitter for Clippard to face. Moreland 2 for 4, 2 singles. Both of the singles knocked in runs. Fastball is a little high at 92 miles an hour. Swing and a miss at the changeup.
I have to wonder how many hitters are going to try to sit on Tyler Clippard's best pitch, changeup. I mean, he's got a very good fastball, but planted the front foot did Moreland, and then could not catch up to the changeup. And it's almost like he waited and waited, still couldn't wait long enough.
That one hit high in the air again toward Fold. And Fold waits. He's got inside, retired. So Clippard with a good top of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth coming up. A's will try to walk it off. We're tied at 4.
After the A's take on the Angels, 6:35 p.m. It's a great contest between the A's and the Angels. Fans can watch the post-game fireworks show from the outfield grass, but as always, on-field capacity is limited. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/fireworks.
So we're all tied 4-4. It is the bottom of the 9th inning. New pitcher is Keone Kela, who's having a nice rookie season for the Rangers. 28th appearance, good ERA. And he faces Simeon, Fold, and Burns. 8-9-1. He's trying to walk off for the first time this year. Simeon is 1 for 3. He had a base hit back in the 4th inning. Slider for a strike, 1-1 the count. A's with 8 hits in the game. They've stranded 6. The Rangers with 8 hits in the game. They have stranded 9. Grounded right back to Keller, who reaches down and makes a nice play. Flips underhand, 1 away.
Well, the bullpen for the Athletics is quiet, and Tyler Clippard, as we have seen, is capable of pitching multiple innings. He'd like not to have to go out for the 10th, but looks like if necessary, he will be doing that. Hit the ball hard, handled by Keela, but hustling down the line. He's had a ground out to start the 8th inning. That was Billy Burns on the first pitch against Freeman, the lefty. And they could do the same as they did last inning, scoring 2 after the first out was recorded on the ground.
Full bunts, and it just rolls foul. Had a good idea. I guess if you're going to push bunt like that, you either want it to be nice along the baseline or go foul.
Yeah.
Keep it away from the pitcher.
And the top spin did roll foul. Might as well test Joey Gallo.
Sam is 0 for 3. One of those patented Sam Full triples right here is what we need.
I just hit a home run. Put a 1 in that column. Right now there's a 0.
Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. So Keller went 95, and then the next pitch was 85. So now Full behind in the count, 1-2. Keller is the 4th pitcher for the Rangers. Gallardo went 7, Freeman the 3rd, Shepard's 2/3. Now Keone Kela. That one's hit into left field, and that's a base hit. Off-speed pitch that stayed up, and Sam Full gets his first hit tonight, and now the A's have the winning run aboard here in the bottom of the 9th.
Now the high breaking ball, and it's amazing, pretty good breaking pitches thrown by this right-hander in this inning so far, but hangs once, and Sam Full goes perfectly out opposite field. Kept looking at the A's dugout, and several times this year, and as you mentioned correctly, not a walk-off for the A's, but how many times we've seen the A's dugout, guys on the top step, they would like to have a walk-off. They're primed for it, and I guess they keep lining up thinking that eventually it's going to happen. Maybe tonight would be the night.
There's Burns, who takes outside. Gallo in on the grass, a step and a half.
We saw and have seen that the last 3 or 4 years so often that it's all kind of an automatic. If you go in the bottom of the 9th inning and tie game, the A's would find a way to win it. Unfortunately, this year it's not happened yet.
Full has very good speed. He's got 3 steals. He's been caught 1, so there's a lot of different things the A's could do here. On deck is Reddick.
One thing you'd like to at least think about is at least if Billy Burns hits the ball on the ground, it's going to be tough to double him up because of his speed, and that would be the worst case. Infield, though, is very shallow all the way around, almost like they're playing halfway for a play at the plate.
And that's a strike. Burns thought about going after it, then held up. Adrian Johnson called it a strike.
Well, with him opening up as much as he did, probably couldn't tell and couldn't reach it anyway, so don't swing at it.
Full inches off a little bit. So now the count 2-1.
Before that pitch was thrown, Torino's had to tap the leg of the home plate umpire to let him know he wanted to move inside. And now he's talking to him, saying, yep, that was me tapping you so I could move. Sometimes the umpire put their body up to where you try to move inside. You have to tap them and let them know you're coming in.
Runner goes, and Burns swung at the pitch and kind of threw his bat at it, and Bob Melvin is coming out.
It's catcher's interference, and let's see. It's
Bob Melvin came out quickly. Burns kind of threw the bat at it.
He did hit the catcher's mitt. I think he did, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's a tough call.
It looks like Torino's was reaching because the runner was running. Oh, yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the tip of the mitt. It was actually down by the hand, which means he got half the glove. So this is a huge call, and let's hope the umpires get it right, because most of the time when there's catcher's interference, Ray, it's just that the end of the glove gets tipped a little bit. But.
Well, I don't like Bill Miller shaking his head. He's at first base. He's the last guy who would have seen it. He would have been the third base umpire. It was Jim Wolf.
And Doug Eddings is shaking his head.
They're going to say no, and that's going to be bad.
That's a bad call.
That's a horrible call.
I mean, that
he knocked the glove out of his hand. And you know, you got 4 umpires, and all 4 missed it. And as much as we like Bill Miller, the crew chief, he's at first base. He's the last guy who would have been offering any suggestion because he couldn't see. He's at first base. But they will see it because I'm sure Matt Weiss will have the DVD, and they'll see that they completely blew it, that the catcher's mitt was knocked off the hand of Trianos.
Runner goes again. 2-2 pitch is flipped foul down the left field line.
Now, Bob Melvin was correct, because look at the catcher's mitt. See how it moved? And regardless of throwing the bat at the ball, I mean, he's just trying to protect on the hit and run. How could you miss that?
And if I'm Billy Burns, I'm arguing big time.
Oh, yeah.
So 2-2. Sam Fuld has run on the last 2 pitches. See if he goes again. He does not. And it's roll foul headed toward the Rangers dugout.
You know, Bob Melvin was correct because of the catcher's interference. If Billy Burns doesn't swing, Sam Fuld is easily safe at second. He got such a tremendous jump in the first.
Keone Kela from the stretch. Now quick throw to first. Billy Burns tonight is 1 for 4. Infield hit way back in the first.
Sam Fuld's getting some good leads because the time for Kela is have to be pretty slow. And back to your point about Ricky Henderson. Ricky said, I never looked at the clock or heard anybody talk about a clock because I just went on what the pitcher did. And right now, Sam Fuld is getting some pretty good leads.
Billy Burns finally gets back in the box. Sam Fuld with another great jump. Throw to second base is not in time. Stole a base for Fuld.
And that's almost like a pitch out for Chirinos. That's how big of a jump Sam Fuld was able to get. And they're going to review it as Jeff Bannister out on the warning track. And if there's a call, it would be because it maybe thought he tagged him on the backside.
Actually, with the jump Fuld had, I didn't think it was going to be even that close, but it was pretty close.
But it was close, and they're going to take a look at it, looks like. But it looks like Sam got his hand in when he's tagged on the backside. Looked like the hand was there. It's almost slid across the bag. Would this be something? Somebody back in New York after 1 a.m. looks and said, hey, you guys missed that call on the catcher's interference. Oh, by the way, here's the call at second base. But the reason Jeff Bannister came out is because of the way Andrus tagged him on the backside, and Sam Fuld saying to Mike Gallego, shaking his head like, what are they doing? Because my hand was on the bag before he got touched, and he would know. And it clearly looked like his hand was on the bag when Elvis Andrus tagged him on the backside. Again, look at the left hand. And second base umpire was blocked by Andrus. Now see, he got a pitch, and Kevin, like you said, the jump Fuld, but that's like a pitch out. Because he catches the ball to the left, pulls it in, and he's got a very strong arm, as we noted from last year, how he shut down the running game.
Actually, they're looking at it a little longer than we thought they would.
Well, they're going to look at the left hand. Is it on the bag? Which it is, and there's a tag. And again, I called him safe, and Sam Fuld, the base runner would know, because he could feel the tag but also know where his hand is, and that's why Sam was shaking his head going over to talk to Mike Gallego. So Billy Burns, it's your first walk-off hit.
So the count is full to Burns. Pitch is chopped slowly. Andrus charges. He's got it. He's going to hold on to it. And Sam Fuld dives back into third. Burns with an infield hit. And now the A's are in real business. First and third, one out.
A multi-hit game again for Billy Burns, and a good one. And well, Elvis Andrus did the best thing. That might have been ball 4 anyway, but the fact it was chopped, Andrus knew he had no chance. Not want to take a chance of throwing, making a bad throw to first, so Sam Fuld going and stopping quickly, getting back.
So we'll have a meeting at the mound, as Reddick is going to be the hitter. And nobody up in the bullpen, so it's all on Aquila. Reddick's got a couple of hits tonight. He's 2 for 4, 2 singles and a run score. So the A's tied it in the 8th, trying to win it here in the 9th.
And the key word here is patience, patience, patience. And Josh Reddick had a great at bat against Freeman last inning. Went to 3-2. Singled sharply to right field. Aggressively went to third on a base hit by Ben Zobrist. So right now, with an opportunity.
Now batting right fielder, number 22, Josh.
Jesse Hahn started the game. No decision for him, thanks to the comeback. Infield in, outfield playing too deep. If they think they're going to get a fly ball and throw out anybody, there's no chance. It's not like it's bases loaded, so they will play their normal position.
So the first pitch to Reddick. Here it is. The runner goes. It's hit toward Rosales, who dives. He's going to come home. Late. A's win. A's win on their first walk-off of 2015 as Reddick got the job done and Fuld slid home with the winning run, and the A's are finally walking off at the Coliseum.
would look out for Brett Lawrie because he's been waiting for this. And Josh Reddick has been waiting also, and Gray at bat. The count also for Sam Fold going on contact on a ground ball with the infield in. And I think we're talking about seeing some aggressiveness. Sam Fold is a stolen base. A review at second. He was safe on the third base. And Josh Reddick jumping on the first pitch. But all the while with Rosales diving to his left, Sam Fold coming down the line. Going on contact to throw to the plate, no chance. And the A's do walk off. And good to see the dugout, which was primed, the players primed to come out for the walk-off. And who better than the pie man himself, Josh Reddick, to get the first walk-off.
So 5-4 final. There's the A's with 2 in the 8th, and then they win it in the 9th. So a good win for the A's tonight as they get their 24th win of the year and they break their 4-game losing streak. So we have the rubber game of the series tomorrow, but for tonight the A's can sit back and enjoy their first walk-off win of the season. So we were hoping for something good to happen tonight, and it did. And Ray, there was a little more aggressiveness from the A's.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guy we're going to talk to was the leader of the pack with his aggressiveness.
All right, Josh Reddick is standing by downstairs. And Josh, first of all, congratulations, knocking in the winning run. You guys spoiled us with so many walk-offs the last 3 years. It must be nice to finally get the first one this season.
It does. You know, the first time in a long time. You know, all the years I've been here, it seems like we've had 8 or 9 already by the time this June rolls around. So for us to battle back, and from an offense that was kind of struggling early, feels good to get back out there and give our boys the win.
Josh, we were talking aggressive base running. You did it in the 8th inning. A big at bat against Freeman with 2 strikes, 3-2, get the base hit. Take us through the at bat, the running to third base, because you had to stop because Zobrist almost hit you with a line drive. Yet you aggressively went to third base to kind of start everything. What were you thinking then?
Going back to the at bat, Billy got out first pitch, so I'm taking anyway, and he didn't throw me anything close. 3-1, I'm obviously taking because we need a base runner. 3-1 didn't like it, so 3-2, I was just looking to put something in play and hit it hard. And as frustrated as I was last night getting pinch hit 4, I feel like coming out here would be a good feeling. And the base running, I had to stop, and I kind of saw how deep he was playing, and
you know what's going to happen.
Hang in there.
Yeah, I'm going to wear it. I saw how deep he was playing, so I hesitated and kind of just went easy with him. And
these fans have been sitting here, and all these fans have been waiting till June the 10th for this to happen.
Am I still good? You still hear me good?
Yeah, you're doing fine.
All right, good. Yeah, was just trying to, get in a good position, and I saw how deep Chu was playing, and just trying to kind of went in there easy and then picked it up and forced them to make a throw. And Zobrist with a great read behind me, making them, be aggressive and throwing the ball in the outfield, and ended up working out for us.
And Josh, Ray and I talked about before the game, and at this point you guys are struggling, and maybe to get things going you become a little more aggressive, not overly aggressive where it becomes careless. Do you guys talk about that, especially when you've lost 4 in a row and you're trying to make something good happen? Because it looked like you guys made some aggressive things happen tonight.
Maybe. There we go. We're back. I don't think we think about it a whole lot. I think we try to make it happen. And, worked out for us tonight. Maybe we've been a little cautious in the past. And, I'm always going to be aggressive on the base pass. That's my game. And I'm not going to stop that just because we're down 2 runs. And, maybe it's something we've been, consciously thinking about. It's just something happened that hasn't come out in the open yet.
Well, it worked tonight. Josh, thanks for joining us. Nice job.
Thanks, guys.
Right, so a couple of hits for Josh Reddick, knocks in the winning run. And listen, it was nice to see the guys do these things, and you're right, Reddick going to third turned out to be maybe the biggest play of the game, because it forced the Rangers to play defense, and they didn't do it. So you forced their hand a little bit, and they did not come through, and when it's all said and done, the A's get a win. And
the pie man gets pied, which is great. But going back to last Sunday, how ironic is it that Graveman 7 innings, bullpen of the A's didn't hang on. Red Sox come back tonight. Gallardo 10 in a row. He was fantastic. Unfortunately, the pitch count got to him, and they took him out, and the A's took advantage of the bullpen. This is a good ball club, the Texas Rangers, but this is the kind of win the A's have been waiting for. They finally get it, and look forward to maybe try to win the series tomorrow afternoon.
Indeed. It'll be 12:35. First pitch. You can see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. So the A's get their first walk-off win of the season. Reddick knocks in Fold, and the A's celebrate the walk-off victory. 5-4 is the final. The A's over the Texas Rangers. So the A's now 24-37 on the year. Well, you've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody Brazil and Carney Lansford is set to go. A's win it in walk-off fashion tonight, 5-4 over the Rangers.